Well, well, well. Good morning, lads, lasses, and non-binary folk. How are we all feeling today? I know this is a tad earlier than I normally would do it. But I got up early and I needed some way to pass the time. Excuse me. Oh dear. Oh, I am exhausted. I'm a tired old man, that's for sure. This whole travel thing. Ugh. Sometimes I wonder. But yes, I managed to actually get this working last night. This whole setup. Oh, it's very annoying to take my headphones off. Who knows if the connection's going to be very good. I am using hotel Wi-Fi. So, let's hope it's Wi-Fiing it up. Says the connection's excellent, so just have to trust YouTube, won't I? Forgot how loud this computer could get. Yeah, so I've made it. I'm here on distant shores from when you last saw me. What am I gonna do? No idea. Where am I going? Well, I do know what I'm doing. And I've done a lot this week, actually. You know, Eric Winter, hit the town. I've got to make sure I'm not too loud because, you know, this hotel room isn't that big. So I'd imagine that, I don't want to disturb my compatriots either side of me if they're still awake, because it is fairly early here. 7:30 in the morning. Actually, this would be the normal time I stream in Australia. So this would be normal timing. Maybe I should actually post something on Twitter. Ah! Oh dear. Everything's asking me to sign in again now I've moved countries. It's like I don't remember Eric Winters living in Japan. Eric Winters wasn't a weeaboo, a Japanophile, last time I knew. But yes. No hands, I only set up as little as I could today. I don't know where the hands thing is going, actually. But oh well. But yes, excuse me. This week's been good. I forgot how nice it is to have, you know, your room clean and your washing done and, well, mostly if it's sheets done. But, you know, I've been able to, you know, do my washing and everything. It's been great. I forgot how nice good hotels are. Also ridiculous. I've not had a single issue with getting anywhere. You know, I've been doing a lot of walking, which is why I'm actually taking it slow morning today. The past 5 days, I've essentially been on my feet 6-7 hours a day, and I'm not even working. I don't know why it's so much harder to... Well, actually, maybe I've been more than 6 or 7 hours a day. I've been walking. Mostly around parks, which we live. I'm really enjoying it, actually. I am a fan of parks, after all. Strange thing to be a fan of. Parks and shrines of where I've been. A few other things as well, but, you know, that's beside the point. Oof. Yes. If only you could see the setup I've made. It is something else, that's for sure. It's a bit, what do you call it? Scuffed, strange, silly. Just a bit silly. Because goodness gracious me. Oh, dear. Oh my goodness. Oh, excuse me. You can tell how, because yes, the last few days I've been on my feet the whole time. Let's keep it consistent. Try and keep a consistent story. Talk about that later. But I've been on my feet. Days at a time. And today I just got up this morning really early, 5:45. Japan time, so 6:45 Australian time, which is probably why I've been getting up so early. And going to bed so early too. I've been here past me bedtime at 7 p.m. Not much of a difference, but it is a fair difference. Even an hour could change a lot. I'm amazed this thing is standing up. But yes, I got up and I just couldn't think of a damn thing to do. It's also raining today in Tokyo. So I didn't really feel like I wanted to do anything, to be entirely honest with all of you. Maybe a bit far away from the microphone, so this may be a bit quiet. But, you know, pick it up. Let's be like a radio DJ. Welcome to FM 256, the Winter's Radio, bringing you the coolest tunes from the early 70s and late 80s. That's that's 2 decades. There you go. Listen to this cool little ditty. Of a fairly big band in the day. Ex-big band. I've forgotten names again. Because, goodness gracious me. Oof. What was my Twitter ID again? I'm surprised YouTube didn't ask me to sign in again, to be entirely honest with you. Because everything's asked me to sign in again. All my advertisements have suddenly changed. My advertisements on various social medias have all changed to be completely unintelligible to me. Like, oh yes, I can see that's a picture of Destiny 2. What is it asking me? I don't know. Is it asking me to buy Destiny 2, play Destiny 2, look at Destiny 2 from a safe distance? It's really a big question, isn't it? What am I doing with this Destiny 2? It's in this strange language that I do not understand. These mysterious characters that I can't understand at a glance, which means I guess I can't understand them at all. It's just impossible. Impossible, my friends. But it has been a good time. I've taken more pictures in the last week than I have in the last 2 decades. See, I've never was the picture person. I have lots of nieces and nephews who take pictures, brothers and sisters who take pictures, brothers and sisters-in-law who take pictures. I was never the one who needed to take pictures. I was always with someone else who would take pictures. Even when I traveled, I rarely took pictures. I would just spend hours explaining to people what the hell I was doing. But recently, because there's a very good chance most of my family are going to follow me across here, pictures are the only way I really have to communicate with them. Mostly, one of my nieces was like, anything you eat, if you eat anything, I want a picture of it. I want to live vicariously through you. And in your delicious food that you consume. I thought that was quite nice. So that's what I've been taking a picture of and consistently sending. I've just been taking random pictures, just in case I need to talk about them. My hands are going nuts. God, I'm tired. Who'd have thought? Walking a marathon each day would be so tired. When I was younger, I could walk uphill both ways and still run a marathon. Yes, I've also spent a lot less money than I was expecting. You know, I had like a budget of a couple of $100, and I haven't even used half of it. Mad. Granted, I'm not going to fancy restaurants, and I've already paid for all of my hotels, so they weren't really put into the budget because they're already paid for. But it's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, good God. Oh. Really? Don't know what I'm doing. Sometimes I wonder about all this. Oh, look, it's me, live. He lives. Just chatting. As you can see, my thought process is extremely slow, but maybe I should grab some pictures. An easy way to access them. Because I did a lot of things. I genuinely mean a lot. Like, wait, I can't access them. My phone's attached to my computer. I should be able to access them through that. Silly me. Silly me indeed. But it's a curious thing, you see. You know, I forgot how different places could be, you know? You know, when you see the same places for decade after decade, you just forget that things can be different. Also, you forget that people speak other languages sometimes. I've been doing pretty well, though, with language. Being able to chat with whatever person and whatever I need. It's been good. It's been good being able to wander a bit. I've lost my shade of thought. Where was I? What was I doing? I'm confused. Confused, confuzzled, and confounded. Yeah, that was the one. Oh! What was I talking about again? Oh yeah! Travel. Everything. It's too much to talk about. But I did the start and narrative, and that was quite nice. Narrative was really good. I really quite enjoyed its more subdued nature. It had a bit more of a... Probably because it is old, an old style, meaning old as in the sort of decrepit, sort of built during the 80s, sort of decrepit nature of old. But I don't know, there was a wonderful aesthetic to it. Reminded me of, in a way, an old country town. Which I liked. I was actually really enjoying the fact that this narrative area was really reminding me of some of the towns I'd been in. Very different. But there was just this feeling, you know? The sort of feeling of air, the mystery that you get from an old town that you go through. When you go through it, you see all these old buildings that have been there for 100 years. Some abandoned, some not. And you wonder, the story, what happened? And you go through old mining towns with these ancient shacks and post offices that have been there for more time than, you know, some new cities. That's what Naruto did give me that feeling. It gave me this feeling of depth and history. A few old shrines here, a massive shrine there too. Had a good walk to that shrine, got lost, went down a hill, climbed this very windy little road. And there we were. This massive shrine. I hope I could get back there at some point. Because it was a really nice little area. Really nice street too, and at the time, I'll admit, I hadn't had the courage picked up to eat at any... I didn't get the courage to eat anywhere that was there, but there are a few nice places, it seems. Also, I avoided taking a lot of photos, because when I was walking around, because of course I got there late at night, walked around a bit, booked into my hotel, and then when I got there in the morning and walked around, just before I booked out of my hotel, all these children were running about. I didn't feel like it was very appropriate for an old grey old man like me to be walking around taking photos of things. Taking photos of, well, to an outsider probably appears to be children, but I'm really just taking a photo of the cool, ornate sidewalk that they've made on this street. It's, I swear, it was purely an appreciation of aesthetics. And nothing else. I don't even know the children were there. What children? It's something I'll never get used to, and I probably will never do it for a long time. In Japan, you could drink out in public spaces that aren't specifically designated as drinking spaces. I still, after a week, I haven't done it. It's a bizarre thing. Actually, I did it once. I went to just a small liquor store, seemed to be a mum and pop's liquor store. Fascinating little thing, and there was a local liquor, a local beer actually, from like around the corner or something like that. See, I'm in a very built-up area right now of Tokyo, so there's not really much of that old stuff. There are shrines in every tiny corner for some reason, and everyone prays at them. It's amazing. In the morning, all these salarymen are running past these shrines, and about half of them will stop, turn, go into the shrine, wash their hands, wash their face, do the whole flip a coin. They'll throw a coin into the box, bow twice, clap twice, bow once, and bow on their way out. They do the whole thing. It's probably like half of the salarymen are running past these office workers, running by, go up, onto the shrine, bow, 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 clap, 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 money, money, money. And some of them do the multiple. See, in some shrines, there's multiple little shrines, or statues the like that are supposed to give some sort of effect, profit or this, that, and the other. Oh my god, I had forgotten. That. I saw a man dressed in black, suit pants and what appeared to be a black turtleneck. And he was at this shrine, he did his prayers, bow, 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 prayer, prayer, prayer. And then the fellow pulled out what had to be over $100 in cash. And this is paper money, paper cash. As most Americans would know, Australians don't have paper money, we have plastic. And he didn't splash that much water on them, but he splashed water from like one of the fountains. I assume it must be a fountain that grants good luck, but he washed his money. He was washing his money. He splashed water all over his money. Paper money. This money I guess the ink is tougher than that, so it's not going to stain or bleed, but I was blown away. What is this man doing? Did he murder someone to get that money, or is he going to gamble with that money? Is he trying to get it blessed with good luck, or trying to remove bad juju? I don't know, he looked a bit shady, so I was expecting that it was some sort of dirty money. He was trying to clean it that way. I don't think he understood exactly how to clean money, but, he's got the spirit. He's got the spirit. I had forgotten about that because I was talking about little shrines. But yes, a lot of them have a statue or a smaller shrine or something that you rub the head of to give you good luck. So you give that money and then you bow to it, clap, clap, bow to it, rub its head, ask for it to give you money or something. I've enjoyed the whole process, though. There's a nice feeling to the sort of ritual nature of it all. I suppose it's like going to church, except it's a lot more convenient because the damn things are everywhere. I feel like if there were places to pray everywhere in the street, Christianity would probably have an easier time of staying in the zeitgeist. If, every 2 feet you stumbled over a small little prayer section. Do it for good luck. Give specifics. Oh. Pray to God for good luck. That's, I think, why a lot of these shrines are so popular, is people could come to them with a specific objective in mind. But even in this super built-up area, there's hundreds of these little shrines. But I completely forgot where I was going for those. But, oh yes, liquor store. Apparently, there's a liquor brewery somewhere around here, and there's actually a lot of breweries all over the city. I was walking past one, and there was a distillery I walked past. They seem to have their craft industry seems to be popping off, I suppose. It's a bit fascinating, to be entirely honest with you. This sort of craft industry. I always wonder what sort of changed everything when it came to it. Because it seems to be all over the world, this sort of idea of craft industry. I'm surprised it took, Japan didn't already have a craft industry for this sort of thing, But, you know, there's such a country that really values artisanal natures of things. And, oh, look at this. It was handmade by this, that, and the other. But it's a fascinating thing. This sort of artisanal industry. That didn't turn up earlier, this sort of artisanal beer. But the point is, back on top. Sorry, distracted again. I'm always so distracted. How was it again? Ah, yes. And I popped into a liquor store, and I was like, you know what? I've been looking at this guy's liquor for so long. I should give him some money. You know, I could. It's only fair. I've spent this time looking at his alcohol, and he's looking at me in anticipation. It's only fair that I sit here and actually buy something. I was like, you know what? I'll buy a beer. I know cider is not very common. I would have bought a cider, but Japan's just not that common. I saw a cider recently, but I'm pretty sure it was just a soft drink, not a alcoholic cider, a hard cider. I think the Americans might call it. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. But yes, and so it was a strange thing that I, you know, popped in, I grabbed the beer, gave him, oh my god, the cash. I'll talk about that next. And, you know, he handed me the beer, and he said, I'll get Moscow. Mondo Moscow. Oh, you got a drink here, do you mean you open it, you know? I was like, took a moment to realise that he was asking me if I wanted him to open the beer for me, because he was wondering if I was going to drink it immediately. Which is a bizarre thing for a liquor store to ask. That really weird. I was so surprised by it. Oh, let's go. Oh. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, onegaishimasu, please. I realised I use Japanese like a person speaking English. Knowing direct translations and just using them the same way I would use it. I haven't even changed the way I speak. My Japanese is going to be bizarre at the end of it. But the point is, it blew my mind that was the case. That he would ask me if I was, you know, going to drink it immediately. That's mad. I was so shocked. And he gave it to me. I was like, sure, open it. He opened it, and he gave it to me. Then I was just walking down the street with a beer. It was an alright beer. Pretty normal lager, I'd say. In your veins of your Sahis and your Sapporos and all that sort of thing. Oh, I haven't had much chance to try a spirit, though. Though it is very cheap. You know, that beer cost me, it was a 500ml beer, and it cost me, you know, $4 or something like that. And then you've got the beers elsewhere, you know. Even at bars, beers aren't that expensive. I went to a bar and the beer was, you know, $4. Well, $5 in Australian by conversion. I don't think I've gone to a single bar that a bloody schooner is at $10. No wonder people go out so often. You spend half the money than you do in your home country most of the time. And hey, bottles of spirits are much cheaper too. All the gins that I would normally be spending exceeding the 40, 10 crores, $50. It's, 2,000 yen or something like that here. Alcohols that are more expensive, like your more expensive scotches, especially the ones from Japan. Cheap as chips. Granted, you don't see a lot of the ones that you see overseas. I thought, at least I haven't seen them. You tend to see the real expensive stuff, or like the low-level stuff that they're pushing. I haven't seen any of the other stuff, but that may be because they're only for international audiences. So, even, other things, I'd usually be paying twice the price for every bottle. So, cheaper alcohols are actually cheap now. So, your Kahlúas, your liqueurs, all that sort of thing. Hell, chartreuse, which is like $100 in Australia. Green chartreuse is, $60. I could finally buy it without feeling like I'm wasting my time, because it's, of course, an expensive purchase. Now, I won't be able to build my cabinet back up very quickly. But, I'm not too concerned about my cabinet now. Like, if I want to make a certain set of drinks, it's as easy as heading down to a local liquor store and picking out the cheap bottles. Easy. And now, they do have a bit of artisanal nature to them. There are some extremely expensive bottles in places. What was the one I saw? I think I saw a bottle that was about $2.5 grand Australian, so about $2 grand American. It was absolutely insane. Almost $2 grand. Just sitting in a cupboard, like, yes, I'm going to walk into this. I think it was like a Yonabashi camera or something like that. Like ostensibly an electronics store, but it's like one of those, supermarket, department store things that have everything. There's about 6 chains of them in Japan, where they have everything on every floor. If there's something you're looking for, it's there, and it's actually how I found the cord to my laptop, because I couldn't find a converter. See, the converters, because Australia has a grounding wire, so the converters have to have a grounding wire. In most cases, and most don't build them with a false grounding wire like this one does, actually. But, so I couldn't find a universal converter in time. Granted, I didn't look on, like, Amazon or something. Perhaps that was my mistake. I could have probably found it if I'd actually ordered one. I just thought I could pick it up at a luggage place, but no, none of them had it. At least, 3-pin to 2-pin converters. And, of course, Japan is only 2 pins. Very rarely, apparently, they'll have 3, like the Americans. The Type B, I think it is. But, this is the Type A pins. And so, I actually had to go to one of these big department stores and have a big look around. Didn't find it the first time, but the second time I did. I was wandering through America. Am I your couture? And just happened to turn a corner and walked straight into a department store. I would have thought this little alley was actually the entrance to a department store, and I was like, you know what, I'm here. And I went, and I found it. Found a cord, plugged it into my 3-pin battery, my 3-pin power pack of my laptop, and it works. And I've got one for the PlayStation 5, so when I'm all settled down, we can get back to playing Wulong. That'll be nice. To be able to play some games again. Because, yes. It's, maybe I should actually use my Twitter account for something. I just realized I could probably use my Twitter account for, who knows? Showing off where I'm traveling, what I'm doing, what I've eaten. Really rub it in everyone's face. Let's turn myself into a Japan vlogger, I should get my phone out. Oh my god, look at this thing in Japan. Isn't that amazing? Aren't you amazed? Look, thing in Japan. Isn't that what you want? Isn't that what you desire? Are you not entertained? God, I'm tired. I don't know what I'm doing for today. Maybe I should just hang around, or I feel like I have to keep doing things, because I feel like I have such little time. Such little time to do everything I want. By the way, is this public? Yes, this is public. Oh, excuse me. Because I feel like I have such little time. And it's true that I do, but I don't. Because what I'm doing after this, it's not like I'm disappearing forever. I've got so much time to do things, and if I need to, I'll just come back to Tokyo. It's not like I'm not that far from Tokyo, to be entirely honest with you. I'm not that far. Oh. The hell just happened? I accidentally press a button, and my screen is suddenly changed. It said racing, and the colors all changed. Oh dear. What am I doing? That? Let's log into twitter.com. What is twitter.com doing? Yes, I know. I'm aware. Oh, everything is trending in Japanese. Yes, lovely. He has returned. Oh, hello, Jack. How are you? Welcome back. Yes, well, I did say I would be back, tentatively. This is just... I'm fine, thank you. Hello. I'm glad you've really defined what... You've used that definite article of you to really claim your position as the most hated hater of Genshin. The greatest hater of Genshin. The most definite hater of Genshin. But yes, welcome to my little hotel room. This is actually quite decadent compared to the first hotel I was in. But yes, welcome to a hotel. Tokyo. How are you? Speaking of Genshin, I've seen a lot of Genshin advertisements, but really particularly around Akiba, but I suppose that's true. Guess you saw the Discord now. Did I see the Discord name? It's a good question. But really, I haven't seen much. I just turned on Discord and posted today. My Discord profile name, I think. Yes. Well, I've just really started up Discord. I posted a bit an hour ago, but it seems I'm a bit lonely. Sad. Oh, nothing, is it? But yes. Oof. Excuse me, you're distracted. Understandable. Yes, well, I just got everything set up this morning. Well, I got some of it set up last night. Because yesterday. So what are you up to? Having a rest, to be entirely honest with you, Jack. As I was saying earlier, I have been walking marathon lengths every single day for the last week when I arrived on Monday. It's been very tiring. My old bones ache, particularly this old bony leg of mine. It aches and pains and it hurts me. But, you know, other than that, I've been walking around. I've been wandering around Tokyo mostly. But currently, I'm having a rest, because I couldn't think of anything to do today. See, last night I went out and watched a festival. Or a sort of procession happened, and it's actually happening, and the other half of the procession is happening sometime in, a couple of hours. A festive festival, yes. Yes, could do some stretches. I really should have stretched. It may not have been so sore, but this was like tendons in my foot and all that sort of thing. I looked good though. I'm walking around. I really confused people walking around Tokyo because I dress up quite well, as you can probably tell. Every stream I'm so well dressed. But imagine this, except slightly more colourful. Well, slightly more colourful. It's still tans and browns and blues, but yeah, the winter trip. Yes. I really confused a lot of people, I think, because I did not look like a tourist. I looked like a really, really strangely dressed, office worker. Because, I wore all my old outfits, it's cold enough here. You see, I was living in Queensland for many years, and I had all these nice suits. And, I had my houndstooth suit and my maroon jacket and all these sort of things. And I couldn't wear them, you see. Because, Queensland, it's too hot. Never gets cold enough to wear, these woolen jackets and these thick suit jackets. And so I really confused everyone, because I was walking around dressed essentially like a salaryman, but not in the same style of all the salarymen, all the office workers. They're all wearing their greys and their navy blues and their blacks. Thick, yes, and I was walking around in the 10 to 15 degree weather. It's supposed to be spring. In this, you know, beautiful houndstooth suit. But, you know, from the 80s. And these, you know, tan, you know, denim, you know, tan, I guess they are sort of denim. It's hard to say, I can't remember what they are. These beautiful pants, you know, tan pants. This, you know, wonderful shirt, you know, deep blue shirt, that kind of, you know, this wonderful, slightly, you know, it's a corduroy, actually. I think it's corduroy. It's a dark, you know, a dark blue shirt, you know, kind of navy, kind of gives this nice pattern. It doesn't have a very strong pattern. And I was walking around looking like that, and then I wore, you know, one of my checkered shirts. I think that checkered, the blue, black, white checkered shirt I've seen on stream. As you probably seen on my streams when you see my hands. I was walking around looking at that. I also pulled out my old floor shimes. Floor shine boots. They're a bit old these days. They get a few dots on them. I never understood where these dots came from. I think they may be coming from something that ate through the dubbin. They need to re-dubbin these. How cold is it in Japan right now? Well, it was yesterday. I believe it got up to 21. But most of the time, it's been an average of 15, I'd say. But today, it's 10. Apparently, right now, it's 8. But it says it will be a high of 10 or 11 today in Tokyo. But it was kind of getting hotter throughout the week. So it's just been cold since the start of the year. Yeah, it's less cold. It's not minus something. It's not snowing. But essentially, it's heading into spring. So it's slightly warming up. And this week, it actually has warmed up. You know, it's been sunny this whole week, but still cold. It's been beautiful weather. And then yesterday, it got really cloudy. Didn't rain, though. And then tonight, last night, and this morning, it's been raining. In fact, right now, I think it's raining. Right now. It's actually raining quite heavily. There's a big landmark that I normally can see from my hotel window, and I can't see it. Granted, you could see that landmark from most places in eastern Tokyo. It's bloody tall and shiny. So yes, it's because it's cold. And for me, well, it's kind of nice. I like there's a bit of cold and temperate weather. My hotel room is in a library. That would probably been a smart idea to take a photo and change the background. No, it's not. This is just the background. I just forgot to change it. You make a good point, Jack. If we do another stream, I'll make sure to take a photo of the bed, because I'm in a business hotel. I live in a business hotel, and as all business hotels, as you know, all business hotels are 90% books. All books, you can't stop it. They're everywhere. You know, those business people and their books. Really, absolutely mad. Yes. I'm in a business hotel for business boys. Are you a business boy, Jack? I hope I'm not disturbing anyone. You live in the library reading never-ending story in the ceiling. I'm a college student right now. Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Oof. So I've been feeling quite nice and fabulous walking around the place. Visited a lot of shrines, did a lot of walking. A lot of things that I've put in my notes of going, I need to return this at different weather, because a lot of the places I've been to are quite grey. See, it's coming out of winter, where everything's grey, and spring hasn't quite started yet, in a way. Spring is, starts in March, and so, the sakura are starting to come out. I've seen quite a bit of sakura, actually. But, half the trees will be blooming, the other half aren't. So it's the idea is, hopefully, as everything comes into season, I might actually have to return to Tokyo in summer, which everyone says is a terrible idea. Tokyo sucks in the summer, because apparently it's terribly humid. But, I lived in Queensland. I'll be fine. But yes, I'll have to head back, because a lot of this stuff is brown, unfortunately. Well, Kama's been tampered with a bit, in my opinion. That's fair enough. That's true. I think Japan's suffering from hotter hots and colder colds. In their case, they're going more extreme. So their summers are hotter and their winters are colder. Whereas in Australia, it just gets hotter. God, this is not as comfortable as my nice chair, my office chair. Oh, good. Oh dear, oh dear. But it has been a good time this last week. It's nice to be going from a very hot place in Queensland, you know, summer. Granted, I'm going into another summer, so I'll have 2 summers this year. But it's been nice to have some temperate weather that's below 20 degrees, so I can wear my big outfits with my black leather gloves. Twin summers. Very mysterious sounding, doesn't it? Yes, with my black outfit, the outfit that's got more black in it as its accent. So the black hat, the black belt, the black shoes, the maroon coat, and the black trousers. I've been able to finally wear my winter gloves. I had these winter leather gloves that I had for years and years ago. And of course, in Australia, never gets cold enough to wear them. And I never really travelled south with them, that far south. You know, maybe in Tasmania or Victoria during the winter, they'd be cold enough for them. But it'd be nice wandering around in 8-degree weather with these black leather gloves. Never have I been looked at so much. You know, in Australia, I stood out in the way I dressed, even for a man my age. But, the looks I get, I swear. You know, it was really funny when I was dressed sort of like a salaryman, sort of like a really chic, or really 80s, I suppose, office worker. The amount of death stares I got from, like, old Japanese men on their way to their office space, like, oh, if you're working at an office, it's a bad uniform, you're dressing poorly, mate. Where's your grey suit or your blue suit with the, you know, grey tie? Oh, thanks. Speaking of grey ties, I found some really cool-looking ties that have, like, Mario on them in Akiba that were really quite nice. I really enjoyed the look of them. Ooh, fancy. Oh, excuse me. But yes, I've so much to talk about, but so little to do. I think next time I stream, it's jealous that they have no sauce. That's right. No style. No, you know, pizzazz. They think they can bloody well. They can, you know. What they're looking at is Australian office wear, you know. Because this would be a very reasonable outfit. In fact, when I was in Melbourne, and I was wearing, not the jacket, of course, it was too hot, it was 40 degrees, but I was wearing my normal stuff, my sort of button-up shirts, my R.M. Williams trousers, this, that, Australian snake and spiderweb. That's right. Dressing better, even our spiders dress more fabulously. But anyway, I was walking around with my brown boots, my floor shines, and all that sort of thing. Very well, these things. In Melbourne, actually. And I dressed like a Melbourneite, to be honest, except for the hat. I wear a bloody Akubra. I've got a brown and a black Akubra. Do you know what a Akubra looks like? They're like a flat brim hat. Well, at least mine are. The Snowy River Akubra. Excuse me, my mic just fell over. It's not supported by anything, it's just sitting on the desk. Yes, stop auto-correcting everything in Japanese. They used to, well, my Snowy River has gone flat, but they're sort of the Australian cowboy hat. And so the black one is very much, you know, quite... Let me get a photo of a Snowy River Akubra. The black one is still very much a cowboy style hat. They're very strong these days. Mine were not that strong ever. Flat? I could have sworn mine were bought quite flat. A cougar hat? No, a Kubra. A Kubra. I should just take a picture of them, actually. Yes. Oh, I could... Look at this! I can buy myself a Snowy River Akubra for the low, in Japan, by the way, for the low price of 21,000 yen. A fedora? A Snowy River? Well, I did used to wear fedoras too, back in the day, but this is a bit... 21,000 yen, what is that? 200 and something dollars? Hey. Yeah, 200 and something dollars. That didn't cost me much. Not much. Yes, so the black one is quite flat. Both of them are quite flat. You see, they're old and they've been sitting in a lot of hat boxes over many years, and I've not really maintained their shape. You know, I'm not a fan of the whole full cowboy look. So the blacks, you know, sides are still up. Yeah, no, I didn't. Probably like it. So the black one still looks very cowboy. It isn't as sharp as the Akuma used to be, but my brown Snowy River is just completely flat, and I like it. I love the flat. The sort of drover hat. My brim drover hat. But that's why I stood out in Melbourne, because that's very country. That outfit, and then the black one with the more... It sort of gives it a more drover look, to be honest. And that's, yeah, I should have gone around going, "G'day, mate. G'day. Yeah, g'day, mate. Oh, yeah, g'day, mate." I should have been doing. Silly me. But yes, G'day, lad. G'day. G'lady. G'lady. That's how it is. Yeah, g'lady. Yeah. God, I'm hungry. Getting hungry now. Yeah, so I've been even in Melbourne. But in Melbourne, I essentially dress like a Melbourne. They all have the sort of business chic. The sort of, they kind of with the business attire these days. There's no blacks. It's all tans and greys and blues. Well, mostly, yeah, tans and beiges and blues and even sometimes reds. But, you know, anything I can wear with a pair of brown boots. And, you know, the style these days is the brown boots with the darkened toe, which my floor charms have. So I've really trapped like a Melbourneite. But these, you know, of course, in Japan, it's all black. Hell, business shoes seem to be optional. Most businessmen seem to be walking around in sneakers or runners, whereas you've got... You know, it's funny, they looked at my whole outfit, and every time they saw me, it was like a scan. You know, I used to scan people, and I never realized how strange it feels to notice it. You kind of see someone's outfit and go, "Damn, that's a cool outfit. That's a wonderful outfit. Oh, that's a fabulous outfit." I've seen a lot of that, by the way, but seeing so many people walk past me, start at my hat, go all the way down to my toes, and then their eyebrows go up when they see I'm wearing, like, you know, nice shoes. Which I guess is a very uncommon thing for, you know, tourists to be wearing, like, you know, anything other than comfortable sneakers. But I find these shoes are very comfortable. That's why I bought them. I spent a lot of money on shoes that actually are comfortable. It's the thing, if you buy a nice enough shoe, they are comfortable. And you buy them at the right size, you know. I have been walking in both a pair of slip-on black leather shoes and a pair of, you know, brown leather boots. Neither of them have given me any problems with blisters. Not a single blister. And I've been walking 6, 7, 8 hours in these shoes, so, you know, it's all about buying a good pair of shoes. Florsheims, Julius Marlowe's. I wouldn't really suggest Windsor Smiths. I don't like them, personally. But, you know, and also particularly slip-on shoes. Lace-up leather shoes can be problematic, I've always found, with blisters. Because you can accidentally lace them up too tight, or, you know, this, that, and the other. So, you know, slip-ons, where you find a pair of slip-ons that fit you perfectly, they're going to be that size. They're not going to change. Slip-ons rarely, their elastic rarely wears about. So it's a good time. I've really enjoyed it. Ooh, I'm getting hungry. But yes, it was very funny seeing them scan me, go up and down.
I know the hats are... Why are hats so uncommon? You know, I always wore hats. Even when I was young. It was a safety thing. Slip-on sneakers with no laces. Yes. That's what I live on. And in fact, I'm glad I was used to that already. Well, for many years, I gave up on laces, to be honest. And admittedly, it's because when I was working many years and I did a lot of physical jobs, once slip-ons became a thing, and, you know, when I was able to get shoes that were slip-ons, I did, because my back just can't handle getting down that low. Sometimes, you know, it's exhausting. I'll admit, it's exhausting. It's so convenient just to be able to slip on shoes. You know, it's why I love Skechers these days. I always have Skechers. I have 2 pairs of Skechers now. Because I can just... And the same with these boots. These boots that I have, and the black Julius Marlows that I have. All... You know, I always had trouble with nice shoes and laces. You know, I have a few of them. I've left them back in Australia. But I never found them as comfortable as my slip-ons. They just were never as comfortable. You know, granted, I didn't inherit those ones, and I also got a few of them from op shops, you know, thrift stores. So it's fair, but the lace-ups look nice. They look nice, but I've never really tried, but there was a style of shoe that was popular many years ago, and it's become popular again. It's sort of a buckle, rather than... So it's like a leather shoe, like a buckle, you know, it's a normal leather shoe that would normally have laces, but instead of laces, it has a sort of a sewn piece of leather that covers the top, and you've got 2 buckles on the side. And I think the tightness of the shoe comes from tightening those buckles on the side. So you've got a leather flap that goes over the top of the shoe, sort of creates the shape, and they look quite nice. I never owned a pair myself, but they look quite nice actually, and they don't have laces, so you know, maybe doing a bit better. There's only, you know, you still have to go down and undo the buckles, but you know, better than a lace, I suppose. Better than a lace, that's for sure. Yes, I agree. Laces are overrated. I guess if you're running, like doing sports, you should probably get shoes with laces. Want to get a musical channel? Musical taste. It's a good question. I've never really done anything with the actual channels of the Discord. I usually leave that to Andy to do. You could ask him. Andy might be able to do that for you. Andy Bandy is the one who is the... I usually believe... Andy's the one who made it, ultimately. So, I'm very, very unaware of how this whole Discord thing works. Andy, oh my goodness! Speak of the devil. And he shall arrive. How are you, Andy? Andy? Yeah, well, you know... He's asking about a music channel, so he can post the music taste, which is not a bad idea, I suppose. But yes, hey Andy, how are you? Andy Bandy, Andy Brandy. I should make that. I feel like we've mentioned this before, Andy, haven't we? I should post my musical taste in it. I'm still 100% Yakuza. Are you still at 100% in Yakuza Kiwami, or are you still 100% in Yakuza Kiwami? Is it an active thing, or is it something you're waking up each night? Oh, okay. I thought you were, like, waking up in cold sweat, like you had PTSD. You couldn't escape Yakuza Kiwami. Oh my god. Oh dear. Not the 100%. Oh. And then you wake up and you're like, oh thank god I finished it. But, oh, it haunts my every waking moment. And my sleeping ones too. Yakuza SD. Yakuza SD. Yes. Oh, excuse me. Dear, oh dear. Stream seem way ahead more. Very ahead more than usual. Well, I'm confused about time. See, normally I've been starting these streams at like 8 o'clock or that sort of thing. But it's 8 o'clock AEST, which is an hour further. So right now it'd be sort of 9 a.m. in Australia. The layer's a lot less. Oh, yes. Because I'm in Japan, Andy. I'm in a different country. And even the hotel Wi-Fi in this country is better than anything I could have paid hundreds of dollars for in Australia. So, I'm just a country with better internet. Australia's internet infrastructure is awful, to say the least. It doesn't help we're in the middle of the ocean, not really connected to anyone else. So, that doesn't help us when it comes to transferring data. So, that's why, probably, a lot of the countries, but yes. So is Japan, isn't it? Yes. I suppose it is. But they actually spent money on better infrastructure. They're also in the Northern Hemisphere, which I'd know helps, probably. Next to China. But yes, they've just got better infrastructure, Andy. The thing is, Australia doesn't really have any fiber optic in their network. Well, they got a bit faster with the introduction of the Australian broadband network, but even then, it still was very slow. And the communications between servers are better for some reason between Japan and the rest of the world, and Australia and the rest of the world. For some reason, Australia is just awful. Nobody likes talking to Australia, likes spending the money to build the infrastructure to talk efficiently with Australia. There's just not enough of us. Move to Japan, lol? Whoa. Well, let me tell you what I'm doing, Andy. Ah! I ain't coming home for a while. I'm gonna be here for quite some time. Just go to Yokai Land. How long? 12 months, probably. Give or take a bit. Probably give rather than take. I'll be here. I'll have very little time. Holy. Yes, holy indeed. Well, I have all these savings, so I thought I'd do something crazy. So I chatted to an old friend I used to know. That's almost this channel's lifespan, it is. I've started my Japan arc, I suppose. But I knew an old friend who worked in an industry that I had worked in before. But in Australia. And he asked me, well, I asked him if he could possibly help me do something crazy. He's like, what? And I was like, well, I know you do this, that, and the other. Is it possible that I could do it? He's like, well, no problem. And it was no problem. Well, there were a few problems, but we worked out in the end. So, an old man like me has wandered over to Japan to do some things. Work 5 days a week in an office space. I just couldn't retire, just can't do it. I'll be working till I turn to dust. Are we going to have a Japan Vtuber? Maybe. I think that'll be a good advantage if I decide I don't want to continue on with whatever I'm doing. Maybe I should try for one of the bigger companies. Unless they're speaking. Oh my goodness. Are you a workaholic? Not really. I just run out of things to do. I get bored. And anything's better than being bored, Andy. No matter how old I got, I never really gained a resistance to boredom. Frightful stuff, that is, boredom. More terrifying than anything else. Having nothing to do. Exactly, yes. But you're not getting me to Japan, are you? No offense, but these streams aren't particularly paying the bills, which is... I have savings, but not that many. So I've moved into an industry that doesn't pay well, but allows me to live here. A long-term dream of mine. I've got you to Japan in spirit. Yeah, okay. But yes, I've been to quite a few places. I went, oh my goodness. I Oh my goodness. VTubers have really taken over this country. You know, see, I lived in Australia. One, VTubers just don't turn up very often. Anime in general doesn't turn up much in Australia. We're just a small market too, so not many of that things come to Australia. But, God, VTubers are bloody everywhere here. I walked into Super Potato in Akihabara because I was told to go there by my niece. And bloody Coronet from Hololive was everywhere because she's very well known for playing retro games. Pictures of it. There was a Crony PC, you know, from Hololive English. It was like a custom PC based on Crony. Oh no, Genshin. And here I thought people who played Genshin were the ones touching no-no squares. Isn't that the joke? All the characters are children. Never mind. I was recently watching a video about Genshin Impact. I was trying to make a joke. Pretty interesting. But yes, here I thought I didn't realize the game did it too. I suppose you surround yourself with the company that most follow you, you know, birds of a feather, Genshin and Genshin fans flock together to touch no-no squares. But yes, God, there was VTubers everywhere. Can't escape them. There was a Niji Sanji thing. There was a Niji Sanji collaboration going on. There was a whole section of, like, you walk into a store and the first thing in this sort of merch store was just all Hololive. So I didn't realize Hololive released so many products. You had, like, Hololive this, Hololive that. And there was a whole section of a bloody crane game store. Or, you know, that sort of arcade crane game thing. Where it had a whole heap of series of relax time statues and statuettes. that are sort of were all Hololive characters for some reason dressed up in normal stuff. So you had like one of them dressed as a schoolgirl, and the other dressed as an office lady, and the third dressed in a shirt. That's it. Also, I went to a liquor place, and there was a Hololive liquor. There was I knew they had been making alcohol, but there was a gin. You know, Noel's premium gin. Premium distilled gin. Noel's potion. Premium craft gin. I was like, yeah, that's a lady after my own heart. I would make a gin. I have made a gin. In fact, I brought my gin to Japan. The old Blue Mountain Bushfire. Smells like Australia. I may never drink this gin just so I can have the smell of Australia. Somewhere nearby if I feel homesick. I'm just sitting here huffing those fumes, probably very unhealthily. That's one way to get the Hololive. It is. It's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Learn Japanese. Live in Japan and try and convince them to hire me. Impossible? It's just impossible. Fair enough. Well, you know, if that's, you choose what to do with your time. Kiwami's not going anywhere, Andy. It's still gonna be there when you come back. You're not gonna lose achievements. You can come back. And if it's just the Mahjong game, then you can come back to that anytime. Bought a couple of games of Team during the sale, did you? Yes, I'll move to Japan, I'll learn Japanese so I can speak it, and then I'll join Hololive. That's it. That's what I'll do. You'll see me next year. I'll be in Hololive, living that Hololive life. Because yes, they'll hire me. Out of all the many very good VTubers out there that apply for Hololive, they'll hire me. The old geriatric. Because that's fresh. That's how I'm trying to get I'll be fresh. I'll be like, yeah, I'm geriatric. You don't have any old people. You have people who act old, but aren't old. You need old. But no. Yes. Hololive winters. I hope it's not a Hololive. That would be a bit depressing. Yes, it has been good. It has been good. I brought a few things, but I think Fresh Prince of Hololive. I think if I went with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air impression, I think they may... Well, Japan wouldn't care, because all foreigners are the same to them, but I'm pretty sure the Western audience would care. They would certainly care. So many VTubers, and all of them have more followers than I do. Oh, that's not true. There are ones that don't. It would be unique. Yeah, that's true. You mean the racism, or the old man? Doing a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Oh, I just need to actually do a proper... You know, I'd have to do a proper... The old man. Oh, okay. I think the racism would be unique. Actually, no, it wouldn't. It's Japan. They do racism. They have a competitive racism over here. No, not really, but they have, like, the most passive-aggressive racism. It becomes so obviously passive-aggressive, it almost becomes aggressive again. That sort of racism. That's the racism you get in Japan. Most of them aren't directly racist, but half of them are passively racist without being realizing it. That's what you get from a homogenous country, I suppose. I'm not about to change it, am I? Tap, 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 tap. Yes, stereotyping. That is their problem. We'll have to see how it goes for me. I still have to negotiate with the damn landlord to live somewhere. Hopefully very cheap. I'll be very unused to having so little space. Acting like Google don't exist. Yes, that's true. Oh, excuse me. What I do need to do, though... I had some really clever thought in my head. I've forgotten. That's gone. That thought's gone completely. Lost it. So yes. The little shrines. Oh, goodness. Oh, excuse me. Yes, I got up at something like 5:45 today. Get back to being tired again. I might... What should I do today? I've done all the main things. I've wanted to... Yeah, well... It's automatic. It's almost like my tiny little form of jet lag. It's very difficult to change. Do the workout. That's true. It's probably a good idea to stretch. These hotels are so tiny, though. Apparently, a hotel the size of a... Oh, that's right. Yeah, well, you know, it's not quite the granny flat back at home that I was living in. That's how I got around living so cheaply. And why I wasn't actually owning the place I was living in. Because I lived in a granny flat. Attached to some... A lot of family lived in the same area, so I can admit that now. I lived in a granny flat. I was a granny. Just was more fiscally responsible. I liked it better. Less space that I had to deal with. I had my own kitchen, my own thing. It was a fairly nice granny flat, to be entirely honest with you. It was sort of an old, large garage turned into a house. Which is why I had, like, you know, kitchen space, a room, and an office. Which were all very big. But, well, they were tiny. But yes. And when I want to watch TV, I'll just go into the main house. But yes, I'm going to miss that little space. So it's been nice to transition into a bigger sort of space, a bigger hotel. I know this is quite large in case of business hotels in Japan. So, doing quite well, currently. The first hotel is, and for the first night, was tiny. Couldn't even know, you know, like, these hallways were tiny, the space between the bed, and it was ridiculous. I realised now what they meant by small hotel room. Well, I was there for a single night. I didn't even unpack any of my stuff. I just went to bed and slept. But yes, it's been good. Yes, I should do some exercise today and relax a bit, I think. Problem is, the moment I get something in my head, I'll just go for like a 40-minute walk, an hour-long walk. I'll walk to the other side of Tokyo and just go, yes, this is what I wanted to do. But yes, it's been a good while. Eating nice food. I went to Skiji Fish Market yesterday. In the morning. Early in the morning. Got up, wandered into Skiji. Had some fresh fish. Straight out of the water. My stomach did not appreciate me going and eating raw fish at, 6:45, 7 o'clock in the morning as breakfast. It was not too happy with me, to be entirely honest with you. And a lot of the places there opened at 10 o'clock. It's not the fish market. The fish market's moved to Totsuya or something like that. Toyota or something. But the outer market still exists. All the shops are still there. And all of the fish makes its way there anyway. Also, about 800 knife shops I've found. In every single place, there's always a bloody knife shop. Tsukiji Fish Market especially, there was about 6 knife shops. And then in Ame Yochocho, for some reason, was also 3 or 4 knife shops. Why are there so many kitchen knife shops in Japan? I guess it's a really... I've not really gone to many non-touristy areas, so maybe they're just very common in touristy areas because they're an expensive luxury item you can easily buy, and they're small. You can, buy these expensive luxury knives. Ooh, Japanese knives. And throw it into your bag and bring it home. Ooh, look, I brought you a present. A Japanese kitchen knife. Look. Oh, excuse me. Yawn it constantly. Yes. But I should get my... But I'll be sitting down. No, I should give myself a rest. I really should give myself a rest today. Maybe go out for a short walk in the evening. Or for lunch. That's what I should do. But otherwise, I should really give myself a rest. I'm also honestly craving some Western food. I've been eating a lot of Japanese over the last week. I didn't think I'd say it, but well, actually, no, I knew I'd happen. I'm kind of craving a bit of Western-style food, but maybe, I think there's an Italian place near me. Maybe I should go check out their Italian place. They need Western food, you more veggies! It's true, I do need more vegetables. I probably have scurvy, to be honest. At this point. I should go to somewhere that serves vegetables, you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. I probably have scurvy or something. Problem is, a lot of Western style food has, like, burgers tend to have more vegetables on them than a lot of Japanese food, like. How much, a lot of the classic Japanese street food really just doesn't have much vegetable content at all. All the Japanese food, I had a single lettuce leaf. They make it safe, red peppers, lettuce, and cheese. Right. Who knows? Actually, there is a kebab place near me. Maybe that'll be good. Hello, Ignacio Arigato. How are you? Join me, chatting away. Yes, that sounds pretty good. Maybe I'll have that for lunch. Maybe I'll have that for lunch. Tokyo is such a weirdly shaped city prefecture. Yes, how are you, Ignacio? Used to be Astro Possum. Feeling good? Feeling good right now? I certainly am. A bit tired, but I'm feeling good. Sorry. Feel good. Feel good. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Feel good. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Feel good. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Well, going round like a camel's back. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll take a break. I don't think McDonald's is as common here as they are in Australia. To be entirely honest here. So I couldn't really go there. I'd have to walk to Tokyo State. I have to go all the way, get a train to Tokyo State. What? Oh no, wait, there is one there. Interesting. What about the other ones? I think I saw Burger King here. Better in Japan, as many said, I don't know. I could touch that today. That could be. I could go to the kebab place. There's a kebab place just down the street. But if I want breakfast, then I'd have to go to somewhere else. There's a McDonald's place nearby. They are pretty common, it seems. So I don't know. There's also Burger Kings. I saw them. When I was looking for lunch yesterday, I was very tempted to get a burger from Burger King. It was very tempting, but I didn't. I held out and instead went to somewhere, nicer and had some, traditional Japanese beer food. Which was crazy. I had some chicken cartilage and a few pig heart muscle. It's pig heart muscle. It was a whole thing. Interesting set of meats, though. You don't get that meat sort of that often. Outside of things like sausages and, stuff that's purposely like mince, where it uses all the sort of extra pieces. But you don't usually get those sort of cuts and parts of the animal. But Japan quite often uses them a lot of their food, especially their sort of street food. It was only pork and chicken there, but I'll have to have some beef later. Get myself a really expensive Wagyu beef skewer. With that's what I saw. I saw at Tsukiji Fish Market. There was a lot of Wagyu places. A5 Wagyu places. And they were priced enough to match. They weren't lying. They were priced enough to match it. But one of them, you could get an A5 Wagyu skewer, so... it's essentially a steak of Wagyu. But on a stick. Cooked well. And, as a topping, you could get umi, sort of sea urchin, which is extremely expensive as well. It's like $50 or $60 for this one skewer. It was ridiculous. I thought it was very funny, though, to be entirely honest with you. It amused me greatly. It also reminds me, if I forgot, that it's amazing that, Japan really opens late. Nothing really happens around Japan until... Except for places like... Even most of Tsukiji Fish Market wasn't open. There were quite a few places that were open. But even half of the nicer restaurants were all closed until 10 a.m. It seems like nothing happens until 10 a.m. in Japan. It wasn't that much better in, Australia, but at least most things opened at 9. But maybe it's because I'm eating out more. Maybe I'm noticing it because I'm eating out more. So anyway, it's usually I eat out. I don't eat out that often, of course, and I'm usually going to a supermarket rather than if I'm going out, it's usually a fast food place. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff, and I suppose if you're a tourist area, and a lot of tourist areas are like that for that reason. If you're a tourist area, it probably makes sense not to really open until 10 o'clock. A lot of people won't be leaving their hotels until 10 or 11 because it's just tiring. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, I think I've decided I might go to McDonald's for breakfast. And a kebab place for lunch. Really try out my life, really live the high life. And I'll tell you if McDonald's is better. I'll post it on the Discord. If I think, I'll try it. I'll try the classic Macca's meal. I'll go to Macca's, I'll order you a Big Mac, large fries, and a McFlurry. That's what I'll do. That's a really heavy lunch. I'm starting to realize, but I've been up since 5 a.m., so, you know, this is probably my lunch. I'll probably have a late lunch and a late dinner. But, you know, I'll tell you if it's good. But anyway, I think I've caught up, but everyone can watch it in, so... I think we'll finish up there. I might head off to get some breakfast. Oh, and also... I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but liquor is so cheap here. It's ridiculous. It's like half the price. It's ridiculous. But and also you can drink while walking just around the street. That's crazy too. But that's why we'll talk about more of that when I get just a chance. I don't know when that'll be. It might be next Saturday, actually. Or it might be, you know, Monday the next week. I don't know. But I'll have to leave it there because I need to go get some food. But anyway, as always, thank you all for watching. I'm glad I was able to get this out. I'm glad this worked. You know, those electronics stores, they have everything. It's great. I was able to get a new power cord for my laptop, a new power cord for the PlayStation. So, when I get set up, I'll be able to, you know, a place to live. I'll be able to start streaming the laptop with the PlayStation again. I think I can see a lot of potential in us playing Japanese games, because there are a lot of them available. So, there seems to be fun things to do in the future. Yes, yes, my stomach. Yes, yes. I'll get to it. Anyway, as always, thank you all for watching. It's been good. I'm glad you've stuck with me. Who knows when the next stream will be, but I'll see you when I will see you. And as always, good night. Sleep tight. And Japan's a cool place. Nothing else to say. Talk to you all later. Oh, don't let the stereotypes... That's a good one, again, hey, Jack. That's a good one. I'm talking to you from the beyond the thank you screen. It's a good one. Good night, sleep tight, and don't let the stereotypes bad. Right on the money, mate. Goodbye.